Welcome in to the Punt Pass podcast. I'm your host, Drew Butler, joined alongside my co-host, Jake Fromm. Be sure to follow us on social media. We are at Punt Pass on X and Instagram. I'm at Drew Butler. He's at Fromm Jake. Head over to puntandpass.com, the number one destination for all things college football. Well, we keep saying it. We've officially made it. But, Jake, it's here. Week 1 is actually here. It's Labor Day weekend. This is the true kickoff to Punt and Pass in the college football season every single fall. And I am so fired up. It's been an incredible weather week in Atlanta. Georgia is at home this weekend. Georgia Tech is on ESPN Friday night, taking on Coach Prime and Colorado on Friday night. You got games Thursday. You got games Sunday. You got games Monday. College football is here. How are you, my man?
Dude, I'm just excited as you are. The weather's turning, feels great. We were outside, had all the kiddos out. They were playing around. Man, the fall is finally here.
Yes,
College football is finally here. It's going to be one jam-up weekend. Can't wait to watch it all go down.
Cannot wait to watch it all go down. Appreciate you all tuning in to us right here on Punt and Pass. Subscribe on YouTube. Of course, we will be there all season long. And we do have an exciting announcement. Starting next week, Punt and Pass will be syndicated on Atlanta News First and Peachtree Sports Network. There will be 4 airings of Punt and Pass on Atlanta TV and wherever you stream Atlanta News First and Peachtree Sports Network. So we're fired up. I'm excited. Punt and Pass is going to be everywhere this fall, and I cannot wait. Isn't that great news, Jake?
Dude, that's so cool, man. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. We're growing. Things are getting bigger. I don't know, being on TV to talk about ball. I mean, does it get any cooler than that?
No, it does not. So as of right now, I think there will be the early week episode airing Tuesdays at 6 p.m. on Peachtree Sports Network. Sweet. And Wednesdays at 11:35 p.m. on Atlanta News First. So right after local Atlanta News, Punt and Pass is going to come on and give everybody their sports fix. Nice. And then Thursdays at 2 p.m., you're going to have this episode, the Thursday episode, airing on Atlanta News First. And then Thursday at 6 p.m., that same episode will air on Peachtree Sports Network.
Dude.
Pretty sick.
That's pretty cool, man. You get a little primetime slot, a little afternoon slot.
Yeah, we're fired up.
Hey, I can't go to sleep. Let's hear and talk about some ball slots. So, man, that's pretty cool. That's got me fired up. I got to watch what I say, make sure I'm giving some good takes.
That is true. That is true.
I don't get roasted by somebody on social media, or, even worse, roasted like in the family group chat.
That would be bad.
That'd be even worse.
There's going to be a lot of people seeing us. I'm excited. It's been a long time, but thanks to Atlanta News First for their support. Thank you to you for watching as well. We couldn't do it without our awesome partners, right? PrizePicks, of course, has been our day one OG partner. They are a presenting sponsor of every Thursday episode of Punt and Pass, and they are here. That's right. You know the drill. Download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com and use the promo code PUNT. It's sports plus cash. How good is that? Watch sports, win cash. Football is here. The menu on PrizePicks for football. Every season it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The best for college football. When you play your first $5 entry, after using the promo code PUNT, you get $50 instantly. Let me say that again. Play $5, get $50 in lineups. Instantly, the DB 3-piece will be coming later in this show. Yes, it will. I've been studying.
That's what I'm talking about.
The week 1 DB 3-piece. It's coming up. I can't wait. It's going to keep me locked in all Labor Day weekend. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT, P-U-N-T, and you get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks. Punt and Pass, the first ever podcast partner of PrizePicks. We love those guys. Thank you for your continued support. And today's episode of Punt and Pass is brought to you by Humberto Injury Law. If you've been hurt in an accident and need a team to fight for you like your favorite team fights on the field, Humberto Injury Law is here for you. Humberto, mi amigo, I love Humberto and his team. They fought for me and they won for me. They know what it takes to win. They'll stand by your side every step of the way. Visit HumbertoInjuryLaw.com to learn more. All right, let's dive right into it. Let's go 3 and out. We've got some juicy storylines. We've got some juicy storylines to dive into. I do want to give a little teaser.
Okay.
As we will be on TV for this entire season. I'm thinking some episodes in 3 and Out. We're going to get some guests. Okay. We're going to chop it up with some guests for about 20 minutes. I've got one on my mind. Okay. Because the Ryder Cup team was announced today. Georgia Bulldog, a close friend of mine, Harris English, was an automatic qualifier on that team. I want Harris to come on. He'll do it for us. We're going to get him on before the Ryder Cup. Russell Henley's a Bulldog as well. Sepp Straka is on Team Europe. Let me do some homework, Jake. I want to get those 3 guys on the podcast.
Hey, while we're rattling off Georgia guys, I just want to say Saturday at Eastlake, when I was there, saw Brian Harmon tee off on number 8. I was there, and he just so happened to eagle that hole. That's all I'm saying. Call it whatever you want, but I was there, and there was an eagle. So, but dude, that would be awesome. That would be pretty sick.
Of course, we'll get some football guests on as well, so look out for that. But this week in 3 and Out, first down, it is a storyline that's kind of taken the internet by storm, and for good reason. Ohio State has banned Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy from entering Ohio Stadium leading up to the huge Week 1 clash versus Texas this Saturday, where Portnoy is slated to be inside the stadium on Fox's big noon kickoff show. This is a big one, right? So obviously they do a lot of stuff outside the stadium, Jake, because it's an early game. They get the fans involved, and they go inside the stadium, usually for that hour, 11 a.m. to noon leading up to the game. Portnoy was a huge hire in the offseason. Big noon kickoff and ESPN College Game Day have been going head-to-head. ESPN College Game Day obviously brought Pat McAfee on. Their ratings have succeeded big time. So Fox, to combat that, hired Dave Portnoy, who is an absolute menace when it comes to sports media. I kind of see both sides of it, right?
Okay.
I do kind of see both sides of it. We'll get into that for sure, but he's not allowed inside the stadium. He is a Michigan grad. You know, his whole deal at Barstool Sports is to rile up the fan bases. He does not let it he's not shy whatsoever when he talks about his dislike for Ohio State, his dislike for Ryan Day. Of course, Michigan has had great success against Ohio State in the past, but simply put, and Portnoy is the king of this, all PR is good PR. I would love your first thoughts when you saw this come down. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give it to me, Jake.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay. So yes, they reserve that right to do whatever they want to do as a university, as a program, but that doesn't mean you should. And I think, like many of the critics, I think it is quote unquote soft. Hey, people are going to talk. That is just part of college football. And for him, that's TV, and that is his life and livelihood. But who cares, man? Like, I think you are giving him fuel, and you're giving him kind of power over you. But like,
you're exactly right.
Don't let that happen. Just say, hey, we don't care. We're big and bad enough. Say whatever you want. Doesn't matter. We'll settle it, in between the field lines. So Josh, that's my take.
Yeah, Josh Pate, who, again, is an absolute stud in college football. He put out a podcast, and he was talking about it. And he essentially said, put yourself in another AD shoes, or put yourself in the AD or the university president's or the football operations shoes of your favorite team. And the most outspoken hater of your school is slated to be inside your stadium on a huge pregame show of the biggest game of the weekend. Like, you cannot expect, and I wouldn't want him to, I would not want Dave Portnoy to hold back in a pregame show when you are talking about a 1-3 matchup in Week 1, Texas versus Ohio State. Yes, everybody knows he's a Michigan grad. Yes, a lot of people who follow him know that he does not like Ohio State. I think that makes for great television. I think that he could get the opposing fan base of Ohio State fans in their own stadium extremely fired up. Yes, he's a professional. He knows to keep it between the lines while he's on Fox, right? National TV. He's not just going to go flying off the hip, because then he wouldn't have a job. He understands what the description of his job title is in that role, but he would be great for the ratings. Like, he would be amazing. And here's what's going to happen, I think, right? They're going to do the show, and he'll be right outside the stadium with a live broadcast, and he'll do his same thing. And I'm sure he'll have Michigan fans and whoever around him. He'll be getting plenty of people fired up. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying I see both sides of it. I thought to myself when I'm reading these articles, what would our boy Josh Brooks do, right? What if Josh Brooks and ESPN College Game Day had a big time matchup coming inside Sanford Stadium, and it's Texas, right? November 15th. And a absolute Georgia hater wanted to be inside the stadium. They've talked crap about Kirby Smart. They said bad things about Josh Brooks. They've disparaged the Georgia fan base any which way they possibly can. Would Josh Brooks or President Jerry Moorhead or anybody at the University of Georgia be like, hey, we should not let this guy inside the stadium? I don't know the answer, Jake. I do not know the answer. I'm not going to pretend like I know what they would say or the decision that they would make in that situation, but look, Portnoy is an absolute force of nature. That's what he does. It's like, let him do what he does. Right? I used to listen. I used to listen to Howard Stern all the time, and Howard Stern was like persona non grata. He wouldn't be allowed on specific radio stations in specific markets. I don't know. I'm twisted in which way I lean in this scenario. I just would say this. I want to see him in the Lions Den doing his thing. That would be very entertaining.
Well, I'm buying that. I'm buying into the psychological warfare of this. Let him help you indirectly. Like, you think it's not helping you, but like you mentioned, he's going to rile the fans up. Like, there's going to be some edgy fans in there. They're going to get hot. They're going to get heated. And it's kind of an us versus everybody mentality. We got Texas coming to town. We got Portnoy here. Somehow or another, we're playing Michigan here already, and it's not even, rivalry week here at the end of the season. So I like the us versus everybody mentality. I don't know. I think it's soft. I think they missed a really good opportunity here. Don't roll out the red carpet for him,
right?
But I don't know. I think he'd rile everybody up and make it a very hostile environment indirectly.
Of course he would. That would be the most fun part about it. And you know what? Here's my question. Is this making more people tune into Fox from 11 to noon on Saturday before the Texas-Ohio State game kicks off? Or are people like, you know what, screw it? Like, surely there's plenty of Barstool fans who are like, we're not watching. We support Portnoy. That's a crazy thing to do. And then you've got other guys like Bobby Carpenter, who's very successful in sports media in his own right. He is a Ohio State grad. He has his own show, I believe, in Columbus. And he's saying something like, well, who is this guy? I'm like, come on. Everybody knows who Portnoy is. Like, I've been a huge Barstool sports fan for as long as I can remember. I think Portnoy's a guy to look up to as far as building a media empire and doing things his way. But are more people going to tune in? Or are more people going to tune out, or is it going to have no effect on the rating on Saturday?
I think so. I think it helps. I mean, I'm not saying you have to like him, but you have to respect his body of work.
100%.
Have to respect
without question.
Yeah.
Without question. So let us know what you think in the comments. We're streaming live on YouTube right now. I'll be tuned in to a big noon kickoff. I mean, that's going to be an electric atmosphere. We're going to get to that game when we go inside the 5, number 1 Texas at number 3 Ohio State, a huge clash in week 1 of 2 national powerhouses who, of course, are some of the top ranked teams in the country. So a great storyline. That's what we love about college football. These things pop up out of nowhere. It kind of galvanizes the social media atmosphere of college football fans. So really looking forward to seeing how that plays out, what Portnoy does. Surely he's got something up his sleeve. Do not think twice. He has got something up his sleeve to captivate the crowds of those who are outside Ohio Stadium, getting ready to go inside of that big Texas versus Ohio State matchup. Good stuff.
Do you think, I don't know, this last thing, I mean, he's not going to go crazy like Pat McAfee or anything. He's not going to take his shirt off and start doing push-ups.
No, that's not him.
That's not him, though.
He has the power of language, right? Like, that's just what he does. I mean, he grabs the mic and he just goes, man. Like, that is what his specialty is. He doesn't have to jump off a boat into the river. He can absolutely poke at Urban Meyer across the desk. Like, that's what I want to see. Yeah. That is entertainment right there, because you don't know how Urban Meyer is going to react. That is what I really want to see. And it's funny to have those ultra successful coaches kind of squirm in their seat. McAfee's done it with Saban so many times in his first 2 years on College Game Day.
Yeah, that part is cool, because you get the coaches like Saban, like Meyer, who haven't been in those kind of volatility spots where
they control everything. They know everything that's going on at every
control
time.
Freaks, 100%. Yes. And then they get put in that situation and they're getting poked. I mean, who doesn't love poke of the bear a little bit, right? It's fun. You know you're not supposed to do it, but gosh, it's fun.
It's the best, dude. Absolutely. And when you feel comfortable enough with how good you are at your job, like McAfee, and I'm assuming like Portnoy will be, that you can do that, that is the magic sauce for sure.
Magic sauce. I like it.
All right. Speaking of magic sauce, let's talk about something that, it will be great. I can't wait. Speaking of the magic sauce, let's go to second down. Something that did not have magic sauce that galvanized everybody on social media, well, most everybody for the last week and a half, is when beloved country American restaurant Cracker Barrel decided to change their iconic logo to a more modernized logo. Many would argue a boring logo. Some say it is a woke logo. We'll stay away from that opinion as of right now. But Peter Burns at SEC Network, who I've got immense respect for, he had a tweet this morning on Wednesday morning that I thought was great. He said, after all the outrage, Jake, Cracker Barrel decided when their stock plummeted, when people were saying we're not going to the restaurant, when the public outrage was just at fever pitch, they decided, you know what? We're not doing it. We're not switching the logo. We're going back. So the public won, right? Everybody said this is a big win for America. I mean, that's how much
just bad.
That's how much people got riled up about the logo switch at Cracker Barrel. So SEC Network's Peter Burns on Wednesday morning, he tweeted out, with Cracker Barrel bringing its old logo back, what college football logo needs to be brought back? Amazing replies on this tweet right here at Peter Burns ESPN. My mind was spinning as well. You're not just talking about teams. You're talking about bowl games. You're talking about the BCS and that iconic logo. You're talking about network logos when you were a child and you loved the little scorebook. Here's one right here. The SEC on CBS. Everybody loves the SEC on CBS logo. That iconic theme song, which is now the the Big Ten on CBS. It just does not hit the same. But you're thinking about all these things, and I said this to you. I said, Jake, we got to come up with our favorite old school logos that we wish were brought back in this day and age of college football. So any off the top of your head that jumped out to you?
Well, I mean, keeping it in-house, obviously the Georgia one, just the bulldog head, the collar, the hat.
Okay, here on the top left. So these are some SEC throwback logos. Thank you, Jared, for putting this up. A lot of people love the old school Georgia logo with the dog collar, the long bulldog face with the bottom row of teeth sticking out, and that hat. I've always kind of been indifferent to this logo, but I saw on social media people were going crazy for this.
Love it. I love it. I had my defensive coordinator in high school absolutely loved that logo. I don't know. I've just always been a fan of it. I actually really love the old school Arkansas logo as well.
That's a great one.
The Alabama old school logo is not on here, but it's the A with the elephant coming out of the middle of the A. That one,
that's a classic. That's an absolute classic.
And then another one that's actually not up there. Sorry, Jared. I keep calling you out here, but it's the A with the eagle coming out.
The Auburn, the classic Auburn one with War Eagle sticking out of the block letter A. Yeah, I mean, I can envision that right now. There's no question about that. Go ahead.
I love logos. I think doing it simple, better, but I think there's just this nostalgic retro part of it that just holds. It holds something, right? And you love it. You don't know what it is, but man, I love that. And I want more of it.
No doubt about it. I love the standing bulldog, the old school standing bulldog. I've got plenty of gear with that one on. I love the interlocking Mississippi State logo, the M, S, and the U shown right there. I saw some people, you see the LSU one here and the Auburn one here, the Sailor logo, the Sailor mascot logo. And some people were saying they love it. Others were saying they don't love it because so many schools utilize it. As you can see, those are the exact same logos, just switched up with colors. And then, of course, the A and the LSU on top of the hat there. That Florida Gator that's standing up, that's a classic as well. One of my favorites, though, and it's kind of a shame that they've gone away from it, is the old school SEC conference logo. I mean, that to me is this one right here. I mean, that there is my childhood. That is the SEC championship game. That's the logo at midfield of the Georgia Dome. That's David Green, Musa Smith, Terrence Edwards. Like that right there is the SEC conference logo of my childhood. And there is a great establishment in downtown Athens called Paloma Park. They've got gear with Paloma Park in the style of that SEC logo right there. I have a sweater from it.
Oh, cool.
Yes, my man hooked me up with a hoodie when I went over there. So it will be in my rotation this fall when the weather continues to get colder. But these are great. The old school Tostitos Fiesta Bowl logo is great. The old school FedEx Orange Bowl logo is great. I love the old school BCS logo where they used to put the sticker on the back of your helmet if you made it to the BCS. So it's nostalgia. These things should be back in vogue rather than moving forward to much more bland. They call them modern. I just, it doesn't do it for me, Jake.
Dude, I remember. So this is on topic, but slightly in a different kind of avenue. I remember being a kid, man, and watching the Georgia games, and all I wanted was some cool dog bone stickers on the back of my helmet.
Yeah, Kirby got rid of them.
And like, I didn't even, when you're kind of in the middle of everything, you kind of forget about it. And it was just never a thing. But man, I just remember being a kid.
You wanted these, didn't you?
I wanted to throw so many touchdowns and just be filled up.
I know.
Like,
why did Kirby go away?
How cool is that?
It's one thing that it's something that we appreciated as well. The black ones are academic bones, and then the white ones are for performance on the field. Why did Kirby go away from the dog bones? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't know, but I thought this was an iconic look on the Georgia helmet with the white dog bones. I don't know. He switched it day one, so you never got to experience going into a team meeting on Monday.
No, man.
Where they gave out the dog bones. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I missed out. It's like I missed out on something from my childhood, and I can't go back and do it.
No,
my helmet back here.
What you got there? Nothing, dude. But you got the college football playoff.
I got one of those. There
you go. So. There you go. Last but not least, Jimmy Woods, a great listener and supporter of Punt Pass. He says in the comments, Georgia needs to bring back the white jersey with the red pants. They did that in game 1 of 2020 when they were at Arkansas. This is the idea that I had, Jimmy. You should have that be the jersey whenever Georgia plays at Tennessee. That Herschel Walker run when he bowls over, I think his name was Bill Bates. He was wearing the white jersey and the red pants. It's iconic. It's in Neyland Stadium. I think if Georgia wore that once every other year, only at Neyland Stadium, that's something the fans could get behind. That's something that I would put out there that I think would be an awesome tradition for Georgia when you talk about old school throwbacks, logos. Always stick with the original.
Hey, we're throwing darts on the wall right now, but sooner or later we're gonna get midway through the season, and we're gonna come up with 3 or 4 really good ideas.
Yeah, we will.
And we're gonna have to send out a poll, and whatever it is, we're gonna have to campaign hard for it.
I like that,
and I have the conviction to do it because something about this dog bone just got some juices going.
Okay, good. I like that,
and I don't know. I want it. I don't know. I want it now. I want it back.
I like that idea. We'll do that for sure. We'll get some punt and pass momentum, some grassroots movements going see if we can make a change on the field. All right, let's go to third down real quick. And it's just an exciting time. The Dogs are back between the hedges. Of course, they're kicking off against Marshall, 3:30 p.m. Georgia's ranked number 5. Marshall, of course, is a group of 14. They've only played them once in the past, I believe, in 2003. But I just wanted to get your general thoughts on the upcoming season. We'll dive into this game in just a minute. Seems like it's a little bit of a different vibe this year, right? Unknown commodity at quarterback with Gunnar Stockton. A lot less distractions leading into the season, which I think is generally good. Kirby Smart seems cool. He seems confident. I think he likes his guys. They're all ball. There's not much chatter coming out of training camp. They're keeping things pretty close to the vest, but this is it, man. Weeks 1 and 2 between the hedges, lesser opponents in Marshall and Austin Peay. But what's the best part about getting the season back underway as a Georgia Bulldog football player?
Yeah, it's getting to see the Dogs between the hedges and getting to the actual game. Me not being in a camp this year, just had a ton of conversations with people, fans, friends, you name it. Hey, how are they going to be? And to be honest with you, my go-to answer so far is I think it's going to be better than expected.
Okay.
For whatever reason, you just feel like there's hey, I know we can be good, but there's not a super hard expectation for a national championship. That's just my feel talking to people, because there's just a lot of unknowns, like you said. How is Gunner going to do taking the reins? But I think there is a great opportunity with this game, the next game, to be ready and to get ready to go on the road at Tennessee. So I think there's plenty of pieces here. I see more of a team unit. This is not going to be splashy individual players. This is going to be more of a gritty team thing and identity, personally. So, man, if they can commit,
you've bet on teams like that. Guys elevate throughout the season. They become stars
if they commit to that
weeks.
And stay on that.
No, I totally
if they can commit to that throughout the entirety of the season, I think they'll really be onto something, and they're going to be able to go as far as Gunner can take them. And the more opportunity that he has to be able to grow and get an understanding and a feel for the game, this offense, what it means to be the starter here at Georgia, dude, I think he can take him there.
All right. I dig that. I said there hasn't been much chatter from Georgia. There really hasn't. No bulletin board material. And before we get to the DB3 piece presented by PrizePicks, I saw this today. Did anybody else see this Marshall defensive lineman just spout off at the mouth? I mean, this was insane. Jared, please roll it whenever you want. But he left no punches behind, and he said, hey, we're going there to win it.
We're going to shock them. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to shock a lot of people. That's what I'm going to say.
On the flip side of that, you don't have game film of Georgia just yet as well, but you have a pretty good idea of what they're going to be about. What do you see when you study them? You kind of figure what they're about, who stands out to you, and what do they do?
I feel like from just watching their film, they capitalize off a lot of people's mistakes. Like, if you truly watch their film, a lot of the big plays they got are like when people mess up, like people out of gap or making the linebackers making the wrong fits, DBs not in the right coverage and stuff like that. So it's like, but I feel like the first week is the best time to have them, because like we don't know what they expect out of them and they really don't know what they expect out of us, because we're a whole new team, 60 plus new players. So it's like, it's the best time to have Georgia though, especially being that we're a group of 5 school and they're SEC. Yeah.
Along those lines, Katron, how will you kind of settle yourself and not?
I mean, a lot to break down there. Of course, he's got to say we're going to shock him, right? I mean, he's on Marshall. You got to get the boys fired up. Yes, you want to win the game. When he goes on to say a lot of the big plays they have are because of broken coverages or people messing up, I mean, duh, that's football. That's the whole point of the game of football. What are you even saying?
Yeah, that's the scheme part. And hey, we're good enough to get a defensive lineman out of that gap because we cut them off, because of scheme, because of size, because of technique. But he did say something that was 100% true, that we have no idea what to expect out of Marshall. Sure. Because they have 50 plus, borderline 60 new football players for their program and a new head coach. We have no idea what to expect out of Marshall. That is 100% true.
I totally agree. So surely Coach Smart's going to be using that, get the guys fired up. Obviously, a ton of the guys in the locker room, I've probably already seen that today. They might be getting a good chuckle out of it, and I'm sure that guy might have a little bit of a target on his back come Saturday, but just the right amount of juice that Georgia needed to make sure that they are ready to roll Saturday at 3:30. Hey, look, when we break down football, it's all about the details. Every route, every block, every read. Humberto Injury Law takes the same approach with their clients. They leave nothing to chance and make sure you get the outcome you deserve. Believe me, I know. I've used Humberto Injury Law, and they won for me. Visit HumbertoInjuryLaw.com to learn more or give him a call, 770-888-8901. Available 24 hours for you. Humberto will win for you. HumbertoInjuryLaw.com. Call him today, right now, when you need him to fight for you. 770-888-8901. Shout out to Humberto Injury Law. Let's go do the DB3 piece. Are you ready? Week 1 DB3 piece?
I'm pumped about this.
Awesome.
I'm pumped.
It's It's quarterback heavy. As you can imagine, there are some great games this weekend. This episode of Punt and Pass is presented to you by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app, use the promo code PUNT, and you get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 entry. It's as simple as that. Win or lose on your first $5 entry, PrizePicks will deposit $50 into your account that you can use for lineups. Here is the DB three-piece for week one. We're starting with Friday night football action. Georgia Tech is at Colorado, okay? I don't know much about Colorado at all. They lost a bunch. They lost their best players. They've always had issues on the offense and defensive line. The defense has always given up a ton of points. Haynes King, Georgia Tech quarterback, more than 43.5 rushing yards. He might do it in one run. Okay? He might do it in one run. I'm a little bit nervous because I want to know how he protects his body in week one, but I think it could just be wide open for him. He's going to play the majority of the game. Haynes King, quarterback from Georgia Tech, more than 43.5 rushing yards. Yes, of course, we're going to the Texas-Ohio State game.
Got to.
I think this is a big spot for Arch Manning. I really do. And I think Caleb Downs, Ohio State safety, is one of the best, if not the best, defensive player in the entire country. Arch Manning, less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think Texas is going to try to run the ball. I think this is going to be a sloppy game. It's week one. I don't think they're just going to air it out all over the place. They don't want him to make too many mistakes and get rattled in a very, very tough environment. Arch Manning, I wish you the best this year, but Arch Manning against Ohio State, less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And I'm wrapping things up on Sunday night. I've been talking a lot about Carson Beck. I do not think he's going to be out there throwing the pill all over the yard. The guy just had Tommy John surgery in late December. Carson Beck, Miami quarterback, less than 234.5 passing yards. I think Notre Dame's extremely physical. They're going to get after him. Their DBs are solid as well. Carson Beck, less than 234.5 passing yards. That's your DB three-piece. It is all quarterback-focused. Haynes King, Georgia Tech quarterback, more than 43.5 rushing yards. Arch Manning, Texas quarterback, less than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And Carson Beck, Miami quarterback, less than 234.5 passing yards. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. It's sports plus cash. You watch sports, you get cash. Play your first $5 entry. PrizePicks will give you $50 instantly. Shout out to PrizePicks. All right, let's go rapid fire. It's Inside the Five. Let's preview the best games of the weekend. We'll start with big noon kickoff. Number 1, Texas at number 3, Ohio State. The game is at noon on Fox. Ohio State, Jake, is a 1-point favorite. These lines provided by Bet Online. The total 47.5. I think it's the first time ever that the number 1 ranked preseason team in college football is an underdog in week 1. Where are you going?
I still can't believe they're an underdog. That kind of blows my mind. And I know it's Fox's slot, but I hate that this game is at noon.
I know it's tough. It's tough.
I want the build up, and I want this game 7:30, 8 o'clock. I want it at night. Night games, the build up. I just think it's so much cooler. I think both of these teams have great players, but I think there's a lot to be said and to figure out if they're going to be great teams. I just feel like there's a lot of unknown here with both of these teams of how do they rebuild and throw out new football players, and do they have the firepower that they had last year? I think there's a lot of unknown. Ohio State throwing out a new young quarterback.
Julian Sayin, yes.
This is Texas all day long to me.
You think so? You know, you actually called Texas right a lot of times last year. Steve Sarkisian, this is a big spot for him. A lot of pressure on Texas. Arch Manning was asked about that, I think yesterday, and he said, hey, look, you know, the bullseye's not on our back. We've got the red dot on everybody else. I know that speaks to you, Jake Fromm. I don't know where I'm going. You like Texas all day long, and you're taking the 1 point. I think you just talked me into it. Arch Manning's a better quarterback than Julian Sayin. Arch Manning has 100% than Julian Sayin. I think Texas can run the ball when they need to. They've got dudes all over the field. A lot of pressure on Ohio State, too, defending national champs. Will they be a little bit distracted? I think the head coaching matchup is relatively even. Ryan Day against
that's fair.
Steve Sarkisian. I do like Matt Patricia as the defensive coordinator at Ohio State to get the scheme ready. I like the under 47.5. And Jake, we'll stick with the SEC team. I will take Texas as an underdog, getting 1 point.
I like the under in this game as well, though. I don't think this is going to be a huge game.
Good. All right, we're on the same page there. Let's go to Marshall at Georgia. Yes, the 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs hosting a Group of 4 team in Marshall between the hedges at 3:30 p.m. This game is on ESPN. These numbers are always scary for any Georgia supporter. Georgia is a 39.5-point favorite. The total here is 55.5 points. Jake, the big numbers, Kirby Smart just does not cover them, does not make it a point to cover them. And look, 45-10 is a great win all day long, and you do not cover a 39.5-point number.
Yeah, I figured you were going to come with the exact statistics of how many times over a 30-point, this happens all the time. And I know we go back and forth on this topic all the time, but for some reason, I'm going to bet on my boy Gunner here. I got the Dogs in this one to cover.
Wow.
39.5-point spread. I think Bobo is going to
show off.
I think he's going to keep his foot on the gas. They need to get the offense ready. Not for this game, not for next game. I'm thinking already in the future, week 3. Don't want the boys to be doing that, but I think he's going to let it loose. And I think the play calling will be aggressive.
I like that. Why not? It doesn't mean you have to show everything in the playbook, but you want to get your guys comfortable with getting aggressive.
I feel like there's a shift in philosophy on. I feel like back in the day, it was, hey, we got some good plays we've been working on. We're going to keep them and we're going to hold them for the right time. Yeah. Now it's, man, there's so much good stuff out there. Just call it. If you feel good about it, just call it. We'll find something else, and you get reps on it, and it's a big play. And man, just go down the sheet, call your best stuff. Who cares? And reload next week.
Heavy pass, more run. Call the Dogs off in the second half and get some people on the depth chart some burn. What do you think the approach is?
It's going to be perimeter passing game on early downs.
Zachariah Branch, get him involved.
Get the guys, get the ball in their hands. For Kirby, he always called this, it's just an extended handoff. Yep. That's all it is. Perimeter passing game. The running game is going to get mixed in. You have to do it, have to set the tone. And then the passing game, man, watch out. There's going to be a few post shots. I expect a few go balls to be hit. Watch out. I think it will surprise you, the aggressiveness that will take place.
Georgia's last 8 season openers have gone under the Vegas total. This comes from Phil Steele. Dogs are facing a Sun Belt team for the first time since 2019. Georgia's won 11 straight season openers. They're 8-3 against the spread in those games. I got to go with Marshall plus 39.5. I just think it's that 45-10 number. That's what it is.
You went with your brain. I went with my heart.
There you go.
That's fine.
It's going to be a good day.
Just have conviction about it.
For the Georgia Bulldogs kicking off the 2025 season. Let's go to the night game on Saturday. It's an awesome one. Number 9 LSU at number 4 Clemson, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Clemson is a 3.5-point favorite. This total much higher at 57.5 points. 2 very experienced quarterbacks. Cade Klubnik, a Heisman hopeful for Clemson. Garrett Nussmeier, another Heisman hopeful for LSU. Brian Kelly cannot win a season opener while at LSU. They've been losing these games in the craziest ways. This is the fight for the official title of Death Valley. I got to say, I really like Clemson here. I mean, I'm not going out on a limb. They are favored. They're the higher ranked team. I just think Dabo Swinney, the Clemson Tigers, for whatever reason, to me this year, I feel like they're one of the better teams in the country. They should do very well in the ACC. I've got them covering this 3.5 number. I think it's a big spot for LSU. The Clemson crowd will be in it. Give me the Clemson Tigers, please.
Gosh, I want to disagree with you, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. I am a Garrett Nussmeier fan. I think he's an excellent quarterback. I really do. I'm on the bandwagon. However, on the road, Brian Kelly and season openers just can't figure it out. There's a disconnect there, and I don't know what it is, but I am a big fan of Clemson. Cade Klubnik, his 4th year at the helm, and Dabo just keeps doing it year in and year out.
He does.
I don't know. I think it's there. It's at home for them. 3.5.
That's going to be a fun game. I think that's the best game of the weekend. You and I are on the same side there. We're taking Clemson. LSU's lost their last 5 season openers. They're 0-5 against the spread in those season openers. They've lost all 3 season openers under Brian Kelly, and 2 of those were against ACC opponents in 2022 and 2023. They lost both games to Florida State. So Jake and I both on Clemson. Saturday afternoon, number 8 Alabama at Florida State, 3:30 p.m. on ABC. Alabama's a 13.5-point favorite. This total is 50.5.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Bama. I think this is going to be Bama by a lot.
Wow.
I really do. Florida State.
You think Kalen DeBoer can flex his muscles a little bit with Ty Simpson? Ryan Williams probably has a good day. Jam Miller, the starting running back, is out. But just a lot of question marks around Florida State. A lot of questions.
Yep, there's a lot of question marks there, and I feel like they're going to get it figured out at Alabama. Alabama just has a way of figuring it out, and I think he's going to get the wheels turning in the right direction. Speaking of Kalen DeBoer here, head coach at Alabama, and I think he's going to get the ball rolling, and it's going to be hot and heavy. 2 teams, 3-0.
All right,
heading into between the hedges.
I like Alabama to win, but I think Florida State covers. I don't know. I think they get a late touchdown. I think Alabama maybe lets them hang around a little bit. The fan base should be fired up in Tallahassee. I just don't think it's going to be a blowout. Alabama could win soundly. Florida State could look bad, but there could be a late turnover that brings it within 2 touchdowns. Again, a lot of transfers. I think 13 starting transfers for Florida State. This Castellanos kid, he's been talking all offseason. They might knock him out of the game. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen there. But I just have a weird feeling when everybody zigs, I'll zag. Give me Florida State plus 13.5.
That's totally fair. I'm just glad you have conviction about it.
There you go. Last game on Inside the 5, Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Number 6, Notre Dame at number 10, Miami. Notre Dame, a 2.5-point favorite. The total's 49.5. We got to hit this one quick, Jake. Go ahead.
Yeah. Biggest question mark here. I think this is going to be an excellent game, but just a huge question mark on it. Is Carson going to be ready? Is he going to be back? How good is Notre Dame's quarterback play going to be? And what is Miami? Are they a legit contender or are they a pretender? I have no idea.
I think they're a pretender. I just can't buy into Miami yet. I like Notre Dame in this game. You know, they lost the national championship last year. They've got that style of football that travels, defense, run game. I think they get after Carson Beck. I'm very interested. I'm rooting for Carson Beck to at least look healthy. I want to see how 100%. He looks when he's throwing the football, but I think this is too much in a tough spot for Miami. It's not the craziest environment. I like Notre Dame. I'll lay 2.5.
Yeah, I'm Notre Dame on this one.
All right.
As well.
I'm so fired up, baby. It's week 1 of college football. Thank you so much to PrizePicks for being a presenting sponsor. Once again, season 9 of Punt Pass. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. You get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 entry. Tell a family member, tell a friend, follow the DB 3-piece. I gave it to you earlier. I'll post it on my social media. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. PUNT, punt. It's sports plus cash. Watch sports, win cash. Go check it out. The menu for college football is extensive. It's the best. We love PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code PUNT. First $5 entry, $50 instantly. And a huge shout out to Humberto Injury Law. Remember, Humberto Injury Law is your first call when accidents happen. Don't wait. Visit HumbertoInjuryLaw.com today. Humberto Injury Law, protecting people, fighting for justice, winning results. HumbertoInjuryLaw.com. Jake, anything on the way out, my man?
Man, we're finally here. Week 1 is upon us. This is going to be so much more fun talking about actual games. I cannot wait.
Let's go. I'll see you Saturday. Follow us on social media at Punt Pass, at Drew Butler, at Fromm Jake. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Have a great Labor Day weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you next Tuesday. See ya.